Alright, welcome to this new video. In the case you haven't seen me before, my name is Jonas, and a few years ago I started an agency where we charge 5k per month for offering simple services that cost us nothing to deliver, only take about 1 or 2 hours of onboarding work, and deliver immense value to our clients. But to be transparent here, this isn't and wasn't my first business. I tried multiple different models before. Some of them still pay me pretty well, while others just ended up costing me money and time. So I'm here today to give you an honest and transparent overview over the most common business models to start as a beginner, not from the sidelines, but from someone who has actually tried them all. And at the end, I will also show you the model that can take you from 0 to 10k a month with just a handful of clients when starting out. So I just prepared this little table here where we will compare the most common business models with using the most important factors when starting out. So we will cover dropshipping, affiliate marketing, info products, agency, and the business model that I recommend you to start when starting out. Science, it's the best business model in my opinion, right? So we will compare everything using the different columns. We will start with how much money you make per client, how much money you need in order to start, how easy it is to get clients, how easy or hard it is to fulfill, how big the demand is, and if you get paid once or on a recurring basis. We will start with dropshipping, and dropshipping basically means that you build a store where you sell products that you do not own. So you build a store, you choose a product, and you find a supplier to supply the product to your clients after they have bought it from your store. Means your profit is the gap between the price you charge and the costs you have of buying the product and delivering it. So usually you will only make $20 to $250 per client, since you still have to buy the product and pay for it. And since most dropshipping products are not really qualitative, you are not able to charge more than 300 to 350 USD, means this is the profit that you will usually make per client. On the other side, you need to invest at least 5 to 10k when starting out, since you need to test different products because the first product you will choose won't work, and you need to run ads to build the shop properly. Because without running ads in dropshipping, nobody will know about your product and nobody will buy it. So you need to spend at least 1 to 3k per month on ads for at least 3 to 4 months just to find out if the product that you have will work or not. Means you will burn at least 5 to 10k that you need to have as startup capital in your pocket when starting out. Additionally, it is super hard to get clients, since you need to run ads, and if you have no past experience, you will only burn money and you won't get clients. The fulfillment side of things is medium, I would say, because you do not have to do everything on your own. You just have to find a supplier, but you will deal with a lot of chargebacks and a lot of problems when it comes down to actually receiving the product. Since most suppliers are based in China, means your clients will struggle a lot with receiving the product and all the problems will come back to you at the end of the day. The demand, in my opinion, is pretty low nowadays because everyone is used to seeing these ads about like these new gadgets and these new products on TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram. And everybody is sick of like this cheap dropshipping products, in my opinion. It varies a bit and it depends on the product that you have, but usually there is no big demand for it anymore. On the other side, you usually only get paid once, so you have to get new clients every single month, otherwise you run out of business. The second business model is affiliate marketing. Here you usually earn between $10 and $80 per client because affiliate marketing works like this. You just advertise a product from somebody else and you get a commission after they've bought from the link that you have. So you have a link and you send the link to people, and if they sign up for the software or if they buy the product, you usually get a commission between 5 and 15% of the value of the product. Means you usually earn between $10 to $80 per client. As a startup capital, again, you need between 5 and 10k to start, or you need a really, really big online presence that you don't have, because otherwise, again, people won't click on your link and they won't buy from you. Because you have to get eyeballs on the link and you have to get a lot of people clicking on the link in order to have a lot of people buying the product. Means, like in the first example, like with dropshipping, you either need to run ads or you need to build a really, really big online presence, which takes between 1 and 3 years. Here it is a bit easier to get clients because the product that you have is usually really, really good and people trust in it because they know the brand behind it. But again, without having a lot of people clicking on the link, there won't be clients. So it is again pretty hard when starting out to get clients. The fulfillment is super easy because after they clicked on the link and they bought the product, you will receive a commission without doing anything else. Right? Because you are not selling the product, you are just advertising the product and you get paid after they bought the product. The demand for it varies a lot depending on the product. So again, you have to find a really, really good product and a really, really good partnership in order to make this work. And you usually only get paid on a one-time base, means you need to get clients every single month in order to make the money that you want to make, right? So you need to get anywhere between like 1,000 and like 500 clients per month in order to hit 10K per month consistently. The next is info products. Means you create a product that is there to educate people, either like a course, a mentorship, a PDF or whatever, and sell it to people in order to create more value than they pay for. Right? So usually we make between $100 and 1.5K. So this is the general range for products in like the course or mentorship area. The startup capital is also between like 1 and 5K because you, again, need to get eyeballs on it. You need to have a big online presence in order for people to trust you, in order for people to see your expertise and buy your course or mentorship, or you need to run, again, ads or like any kind of like partnerships in order to get people to sign up for it. On the other side, it's super hard to get clients when starting out with like an info product because nobody trusts you. And if they don't know you, why should they buy a course from you if they don't even know if you have expertise or not, right? And this is what leads to the next point and the fulfillment part, right? And most info products are shit nowadays because people are just creating stuff without having expertise and without having knowledge to teach people. So in order to create the info product, you either have to learn a lot about the topic that you want to talk about. And if you already have your expertise that you want to talk about, then it will be really hard to create everything on your own when starting out. Because you need to create the whole course, you need to record it, you need to create the whole curriculum, you need to do the marketing, you need to build the trust, and you need to set up the whole backend. So the fulfillment side of things is super hard. And this is also why so many course and info products are like bad and why this whole bubble has such a bad reputation nowadays, because people just create shit stuff when starting out because they do not have any knowledge or expertise about it, right? On the other side, the demand varies a bit. It varies on the topic that you talk about, but the most common niches for info products are so saturated that it will be really hard to get clients. And the pricing option also varies. So you can either have like a one-time investment that they only pay once, or they pay on a monthly basis in order to use or be a part of like the community. The next one is agencies, so SMMA or like AI agency. And this is a big topic, and this is what most people say is the best business model out there. And to be honest, in my opinion, it is one of the best business models. But the problem is that there are some things about it that makes it nowadays really hard to start as a beginner, right? And when running an agency, you basically sell different services to create more value than you charge for, right? Especially in 2025, AI agencies are booming. So selling AI infrastructure to save people time or make them more money. But there are like some disadvantages that we'll see in a second. So we'll start with the earnings per client. Usually you can charge between 1 and 1.5K per month. On the other side, if you don't know how to provide a service, you also need to hire somebody to provide a service for you. And that means you will have to pay them 500 or 800 USD for providing and doing the service. So you will only pocket half of the profits. Startup capital is pretty low with an agency because you only need to set up like the website and maybe some softwares. But there are no huge costs that you have because you make money first and then you only spend the money for delivering the service, for example. Getting clients is pretty hard because it's super saturated, right? Everyone is trying to sell Facebook ads, Google ads, or like AI automations. So it is super hard to convince people why they should buy from you when starting out, because you only compete on price and experience, right? And especially like the agency bubble, it worked a couple of years ago. So roughly like 2018, 2019 to 20, it worked pretty well because it was new. And it was really easy to get clients because you could just promise them to run really good Facebook ads for them. And they believed you and they wanted to try it out. On the other side, again, the fulfillment is also pretty hard because you need to learn the service, you need to deliver the service for every single client, and especially when creating like selling AI automations, you first of all need to learn everything about AI. Then you need to try to get clients, which is really hard as well. And after you sign the client, you then need to figure out what exactly they need, and you basically need to learn everything from scratch again, right? Then you need to deliver the service, which takes a lot of time. And after you got the next client, you then need to start from scratch again in order to figure out what they need, learn everything about the topic, and then build the workflow again. So especially when building like an AI agency, the fulfillment part is super hard, and I believe it's not the right fit for beginners. On the other side, the demand is medium, I would say. So it depends a bit on what you sell, but since you still make the more money than you charge for, the demand is pretty okay. Here, the good thing is that you get paid on a retainer. So they pay you every single month because you provide a service every single month, right? So you only need between like 6 to 7 clients to make 10K a month with it. But now we come to the business model, or like the business approach that I believe is the best for starting out. Because when being honest, I believe the agency model is the perfect one for starting out, but not in a traditional way. Because as you see, like there are some good things about the agency model, for example, the startup capital and the retainer, but there are some disadvantages when starting out. And with the last module, you can basically charge between 2 and 5K per month because you create a lot of value for your clients. The startup capital is like with the traditional agency between $100 and $200 because you only need to pay for like some general software you need. But you can even start with $0 per month. Getting clients is easy to medium with this model because you sell something that they have never heard of before, and you actually focus on creating great value, and you also communicate the value you create in a smart way. The fulfillment is easy because you sell something that is already there, that is already proven, and it's just about building it once and copying, pasting it into all of your clients' businesses. The demand for it is super high because we focus on solving one specific problem that we know that there is a lot of demand for. And the best thing is we get paid on a retainer basis. Means you only need 3 to 5 clients when charging a high retainer in order to scale to 10 to 20K a month consistently. All right? And this is not a completely new business model, but it's an approach. It's called the SBA approach, the system-based agency model. Right? So you still build an agency, but you build the agency without the disadvantages of the traditional agency model. Right? So the SBA approach allows you to build an agency without the disadvantages of building a normal agency. It allows you to charge high premium prices, provide real value to clients, get clients more easily, and get paid on a monthly basis for doing less work. Oliver is the best proof of it. He closed a 6K deal as his first client using the SBA approach. Or Kuno, who closed the 8.1K euros deal using the SBA approach. Or Tien, who signed a 2K deal as his very first client, also using the SBA approach. But how is that possible? It's possible because we focus on solving a chain of super big problems, so we provide so much value that they pay us much more for it. On top of that, we sell our solution in a repetitive way, labeled with our own name. So we don't have to learn everything about the topic or spend hours on the fulfillment side. But to truly understand why and how this works, we first have to understand why building a normal SMMA or AA agency without the SBA approach does not work anymore. Because when your offer looks like this, we get you X amount of leads per month with Facebook ads, or I'm an automation expert, you won't make money. So if you're still trying to sell services like Facebook ads, Google ads, or AI automations, or you plan to start an agency selling those services, you are about to run out of business, or it will be really hard to get your first client. Let me show you why. But first, it's important to understand one thing. It's not that the service is dead, but the way people sell it. Running Facebook ads, doing content creation, and building AI automations still work if you know what you're doing, because you still get your client results and help them make more money or save time with the service you provide. So if, for example, you get your client 25 leads per month and they close 4 of them at 2K per month, you generate 8K per month for them. If you also save your client 12 hours per week with AI automations and they use that time to close 3 more clients at 1K each, that adds another 3K per month for them. The problem is that everybody can run Facebook ads, create content, and automate stuff nowadays. So back in 2019, 2020, when SMMA was booming, people didn't know how to do it themselves. So it was really easy to sell it to them. But now everybody can do it and there is no magic behind it. So when selling services, you only compete on price and experience. And this is the biggest disadvantage, as I said, when using the traditional agency model. The only reason why they choose you is because you have better case studies or you are cheaper. On top of that, many businesses have already been burned from bad agencies. But most of you don't have any fancy case studies because you're just starting out. And you don't want to compete on price since it's a race to the bottom. And at the end, you need 20 to 50 clients in order to hit 10K. Selling services simply doesn't work anymore, since terms like Facebook ads don't get anyone to pay you a high retainer. But the services themselves still work, so the vehicle works, because they make the clients money. So how can we still provide the same thing, but sell it in a way that businesses pay high retainers and you make real money from it? The solution? We need to package our offer differently, selling a unique product that promises specific results where the results is achieved through the vehicle. So the vehicle in this case could be Facebook ads or AI automations. Again, I call it the SBA approach, the system-based agency approach. And it's still an agency model, but it's a super smart one that, in my opinion, is the future for all agencies out there. Example, you're providing Facebook ads for solar companies. Instead of pitching them a basic service, you turn that into your own system and give it a unique name. You also don't just want to provide a service, you solve a series of problems. So when you only offer Facebook ads or website building, you're only focusing on solving a single problem, like generating more leads. But you need to solve multiple problems, for example, not just generating leads, but helping them set appointments with those leads. Because if you only get them leads, that solution creates the next problem, converting those leads into appointments. And if you don't cover this in your offer, they will just go to somebody else and they will give them the money you could have earned. This applies to all services and agencies because every solution creates another problem. And you shouldn't just focus on solving 2 problems in a row, but as many as possible. The more problems you solve, the more valuable you become and the higher prices you can charge. So yes, you're still running Facebook ads, but you're packaging them differently. But a name is not enough, you still need a strong offer. It's important to highlight the outcome of your system in a way that interrupts their thinking and shows benefits from different angles. For example, we help solar companies get an extra 13 jobs per month, an additional 27K in revenue, while freeing up 9 hours a week and increasing the lead quality by 19% using our solar machine. Now, the Facebook ads or automations just become the vehicle behind your system, not the main selling point anymore. You're not competing with anyone anymore, and since you're focused on results, you can charge much higher prices once you know you can actually deliver. And the price looks reasonable because you have packaged it as your own system. That's why it is so hard to grow and get your first client when you're just providing services. So SMMA still works, and AI automation agencies does as well, but only if you sell systems instead of services. So if you follow the system-based agency approach. With such a system, you can charge 5 to 10K per month if you know that you can actually deliver the results and the results are worth more than that. That's the secret nobody tells you. And that's also why I can charge 5K a month within my own agency. The best part? With the SBA model, you don't even need to change what you offer. So if you already have an agency, you just add steps to solve multiple problems and package everything in your own branded system. Once you have mapped out and validated the solution, you don't need to spend weeks learning or hours providing it. After you find what works, you just focus on getting clients. That allows you to charge higher prices, create more value and impact by solving multiple problems, position your agency as a premium brand. And the cool thing is, you can transition your agency into an SPA within 2 to 4 weeks. And if you don't have an agency yet, you can just build an SPA also in 2 to 4 weeks. SPA is the key to creating real value in a saturated market. Even with simple services like Facebook ads, you can stand out in a competitive niche like real estate because instead of competing, you solve deeper problems others can't. So when you charge 4 to 5K a month, you only need 2 or 3 clients to hit 10 to 15K a month consistently. That means you can stop relying on mass outreach, instead focus on personalized outreach that gets better results. You see, the SPA approach is the best possible way to hit your first 10K a month while providing real value to real clients. The only 3 things holding you back from building your SPA are finding a real problem to solve, building the solution and the offer that actually creates enough value, and approaching clients correctly so they pay you high retainers. But there's a catch. It's not as easy as it looks when doing it alone without experience, especially when you're just starting out. So if you miss one of these things, either a real problem, a strong solution, or the right approach, you will stay stuck. So how do you solve that? With a step-by-step program that teaches you how to find the right niche, how to identify their core problem, how to discover the follow-up problems, so you have a chain of 20 to 30K worth of problems, solve those problems and productize your solution, build the SPA offer, outreach to big companies, and turn them into clients who pay 2 to 5K a month for it. It's called the SPA Playbook. The same program that helped Oliver to close his first 6K deal as his first client, or Kuno to close the 8.1K deal using the SPA approach, or Tien closing his first client on a 2K deal. If you want to learn more about the SPA Playbook and how the one-on-one mentorship can help you build your SPA within 21 days and sign your first clients who pay you 2 to 5K a month guaranteed, click the link below this video and watch the demo. See you there.